Hey traders, and welcome back to the channel. This week, we've identified the absolute hottest setups in the market. Today I'm pulling back the curtain on 5 incredible opportunities that are showing powerful technical momentum, massive growth narratives, and a clear breakout signal. I'm going to show you the exact reasons why these stocks are on our radar and where the key buy levels are. Now, if you're looking for where the smart money is moving and how to position yourself for potential massive gains, you cannot afford to miss this. So, let's jump into this. Now, first of all, you may be asking yourself, how do you get these setups and how can I access them? Well, with our Patreon membership of just $15 a month, you get access to these single setups every single week, every Sunday, as well as Ticker AI, which is our powerful AI app that not only uses fundamental analysis, but we make technical analysis to give you the better edge as an investor. So, like I said, the Patreon is only $15 a month and it would be a great substantial help to grow the channel. Now, let's break it down here and what our thesis is. The first choice is Meta, with a long bias and our price target being towards $840. As you can see here, it remains our top pick with a clear path to a new high. The stock has been showing strong technical momentum with a rising trend channel, indicating increasing investor optimism. According to the recent analyst ratings, the consensus still remains a buy, with some firms setting a price target as high of $920 per share. Now, the bullish sentiment is backed by the company's robust and revenue growth, while alongside strategic investments in AI, particularly within its auction algorithm. Now, I do see a projection towards 840 as the market continues to reward its effective AI monetization and strong user engagement. We've also seen that Meta has been a very enhanceful company. They've been seeing above 70% profit margins, which has been absolutely amazing here for the company. We also include here a daily chart of Meta, and we're going to be doing a deeper analysis right now. First of all, let's start with the most bullish setup in the market, and I believe that to be Meta stock. First of all, the stock is well above the 50 EMA here, which is this yellow line, and the 200 EMA, showing a very nice bullish correction. Now, even though we had the very negative sentiment towards April, we never saw an overall bearish cross, which means that the 50 did never cross below the 200, showing that the buyers were innately in the name here. Now, the reasoning as to why this name is looking pretty bullish is, as we've seen before, the stock has been finding some support at the 50 EMA each and every single time we come and dip to it. The most recent pullback was September 2nd of this year, and like I said, the stock is now looking to curl and is now finding some buyers. Ever since we got above this swing high anchored VWAP here that I'm pointing right here, this is where the long has been. So the long, in my opinion, was at the break of the $768 level here, which was a prior area of resistance. Now that we've had a couple of candles above it and we've been seeing intense wicks here at the bottom, which are these and these, it shows that there's buyers that are picking up the name. And that is just an amazing thing to see here on the company. Now, something I really want to reiterate here is that we have an important confluence zone if the stock does decide to pull back. I do see an area of support here at the $759 level, which has the overall earnings anchored VWAP combined with the swing high anchored VWAP as a level of support. And if we fail that level, then I do believe we'll be finding support again at the 50 EMA, where the buyers are going to be heavily and aggressively buying this name towards a price target that we have on the stock towards $840 on Meta. Now, our second setup for the week is going to be Microsoft. We have a long bias on the stock and our price target of $595 per share. Like we said, Microsoft is a compelling long setup after its recent consolidation. The stock does remain in a strong rising long-term trend, as you can see, which suggests continued optimism and buy interest among the investors. Despite a recent following earnings, analysts have suggested a strong buy on the company with intense margin growth, and especially in cloud. Now, we do see our objective of $585 as the market does anticipate a long-term benefit with strategic investments in cloud AI spending with over $40 billion planned investments in the UK alone. As we know, Microsoft's commitment to AI and its dominant position in the cloud sector provides a strong foundation for future growth and re-rating of the stock. As you can see here on the chart, we see an amazing bullish trend here, and this is where we're going to break it down even further. Now that we are on the chart of Microsoft here on the daily, let's analyze it a little bit deeper. As you can see here, the latest earnings report was on the 30th of July of this year. But the overall trend has been established ever since the last earnings call, which was on April 30th of 2025. And ever since this momentum, we haven't been able, and we've never touched the 50 MA up until now. This is why I believe it's a buying opportunity to get into a very high quality name. And what I mean by this is that the buying momentum here during this date from the 1st of May all the way towards this pullback on the earnings of July, we were seeing intense buying momentum. There was a lot of buying pressure, and we never got close to touching the 50 MA, much less the 200 MA. But now that we pulled back and buyers reconsolidated here and bought the name at these lows of around the overall 50 MA, I believe this is a buying opportunity before the stock gets towards a price target of $592 that we have here on Microsoft. Now you may be asking yourself, how did you get this price target? Well, simply by doing Fibonacci retracements of this extended move here. So simply what we'll do here is plot an overall Fibonacci retracement from this high and see that the pullback actually came into this important level, the 0.2386 level here on the Fibonacci's, which is an important level to make and confluate before we go even higher. And now that we can see this here, if we do get above this area of resistance here of $520 on Microsoft, which I have here, this yellow line that I'm plotting on my chart, I do believe that this price action will do something familiar to this. So we'll see a breakout like this, a poly consolidation before we break out, and then have that nice upward momentum where the stock does continue its momentum. And we would have seen that that low of $492 was very important as the buyers came in more aggressive at this low. Like I said, if this does happen, then I believe Microsoft is poised to reach the price target that we have towards $593 here on Microsoft. Now, our third position is going to be Apple. After the iPhone 17 announcement, we are more bullish on the company than ever. Our long bias here is a price target towards $260 on the stock. Our reasoning is that we believe that Apple is a prime candidate for a long position. The stock is currently in a rising trend channel in the medium term, signaling increasing optimism and continued rise. Recent product launches, including the latest iPhone and Apple Watch, are a positive catalyst for the company. The company's recent moves to take control of all core chips in the iPhone Air with new architecture to prioritize AI is a significant development that will drive future performance. The stock is currently trading around this level of $225, and I do believe that our price target of $260 per share is going to be recognized as the market recognizes the company's underlying strength and continuous innovation. Now, we do believe that Apple has been discounted and has built a lot of criticism on the company by not implementing AI or having some type of model. But we have to remember that Apple was focusing on creating the hardware and making sure that the majority of the consumers have an iPhone, pretty much an overall Apple product. And what this means is that they can, as long as they sustain that, they don't need to develop a personalized AI. There's apps for that. There's Gemini, there's ChatGPT, there's Anthropic, there's Grok. They simply want to instead of investing in creating their own AI architecture, they want to instead facilitate their hardware, their phones, in order to innovate and overall combine the AI within their phones. So I do believe that Apple is poised for extreme growth after the iPhone 17 announcement. So let's take a little look at the closer. So let's take a closer look at the chart and analyze what the overall buyers and sellers are telling us on this name. Now that we are on an overall daily chart of Apple, let's take a closer look at the stock. As you can see here, the stock was pretty much bearish and we're still not breaking above the high. The name has been lagging behind the rest of the Max 7. For example, Google has been breaking above all-time highs. We've had Microsoft breaking above all-time highs, Nvidia. So there's been a lot of names that have been soaring, but Apple has been having this headwind or this kind of, top pressure on the stock. And that was the overall AI advancements and lack of innovation by the company, especially under CEO Tim Cook. But now that that overhead is slowly starting to fade, we do believe the company is poised for growth, especially after seeing that we had a bullish crossover right here, which pretty much signifies that the shorter term trend is now bullish alongside the longer term trend, which is a 200 EMA here. So this bullish crossover signifies potential towards the upside, and I'm absolutely bullish on this company. Now, like I said, we do have the price target towards $260, and this is because of the following. So if we plot an anchored VWAP from this high here, pretty much from the high that we initiated, from when the sellers initiated this downward trend, we'll put it as red. We are above it, and actually it came into confluence here within the 200 EMA. If the buyers were overall not as strong enough, then we shouldn't have been able to break above this zone here, because this shows that there would have been an area of resistance. Instead, we saw buyers pretty much come aggressively and we got above that. So it shows that these sellers were not strong enough, and that just adds more confidence to the overall trade setup. Now, I do believe that if the stock does pull back, we can buy the stock at the 50 EMA around this level of 230, or even towards the overall levels here by using our overall anchored VWAP toward the level here of $237, which is going to be an excellent buying opportunity if the stock does decide to pull back before we get towards the level and price target of $260 per share here on Apple. Now, if you want complete access to our trading setups, just join our Patreon for $15 a month, and not only that, you also get access to our TickerFlow AI app, which allows you to do fundamental analysis alongside technical analysis powered with AI. Simply here, we can do a full analysis, for example, on Alphabet, as you can see on my screen, and talk to the personalized AI assistant to make you a smarter investor. So take a little closer look, and let's talk to our analyst here, Alex.
Hello, let's learn about investing.
Hey Alex, how's it going? I'd like to ask you some questions about Google.
Hey there, good to have you. What about Google has your attention today? Are we looking at long-term potential or something more short-term?
Now, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and as always, I wish you guys a profitable trading week, and don't let the markets whip you guys out. I'll see you guys on the next one.